What up, it's Jimmy. This is a clip from my NHL show. Check out the entire show. Hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern. Ottawa Senators, 9-18-1, 4-12-0 on the road at the Edmonton Oilers. 16-11-0, 8-8-0 at home. I'm on the Edmonton Oilers minus 1.5 at plus 110. And I'm on the under 6.5 at minus 110. 6.5s are a little different, but when you're dealing with sixes, and especially 5.5s, there's an idea that the favorite on the puck line and the under doesn't correlate. And I've always felt comfortable betting it. Now, 6.5 is a little different. You have a little more breathing room. We're in Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. I expect Matt Murray to be in between the pipes for the Senators. 7-11-1, 3.66 goals against average, 885 save percentage, 0 shutouts. He's had a bad season, but he had a nice game in Calgary, 2 games back. Maybe he can carry a little momentum. Mike Smith, 7-2-0, 2.29 goals against average, 925 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Koskinen was in net in this game that just was played between the Senators and Oilers, and I expect them to go right back to Mike Smith. Sens power play, 14.4%. Their penalty killing, 74.7%. Oilers power play, 25.6%. Their penalty killing, 76.5%. And you look at a 25.6% power play and think, well, that's a good power play. But you could just imagine what kind of numbers a power play with McDavid and Draisaitl would put up if you had some strong power play defensemen, some specialists. Barry's not bad on the power play. That's about the only thing he does well. Okay, let's get to work here. Edmonton opens up at minus 250. That's gone down to minus 235. Ottawa opened up at plus 210. They're down at plus 195. But let's make sure that I'm using a legal licensed American book for my opening line. The puck line, which I'm on. I have not seen movement in my book, but let's see if there was any. And yes, slight. It opened minus 1.5 at plus 105. It's now minus 1.5 at plus 110. The total opened up at under 6.5 at minus 115. There's been a 5-cent move towards the over. It's now minus 110. Okay, let's get to work. I don't like the Edmonton Oilers as a hockey team. I don't like the team that Chiarelli passed on to Ken Holland. I think they've made grievous errors all over the place. And I would love to take the Senators. Love to take the Senators first period. I would love to fade Edmonton. And those of you who watch me know that I rarely support Edmonton. But this will be the Senators' 5th game of a 6-game road trip and their 3rd game in 4 nights. They've been in Alberta since Wednesday, March 3rd, so travel is not an issue. But they may have trouble finding their legs in the latter stages of this one. They are 1-3 on this trip. They're coming off a 3-2 loss against these Oilers on Monday. The Senators have to play a very clean road game against an Oilers team with one extremely dangerous line and little else. You have to be very cautious when Draisaitl, McDavid, and Yamamoto are on the ice. And then you try to win the game when they are on the bench. You can't allow odd man rushes to that line. You'll get burnt. You need to win the faceoff battle against the Oilers. But more importantly, you need to win the faceoff battle against Connor McDavid. And the problem, Connor McDavid is an okay faceoff guy. But Leon Draisaitl is really good. And Connor McDavid plays center on the line, but if you knock McDavid out of the faceoff circle, Draisaitl comes in. The only Senator winning draws right now is their 3rd-line center, Josh Norris. And I like Josh Norris. But he plays on the line with Stutzel and Batherson, so you don't want them out there against McDavid. Josh Norris, a Sharks first-round draft pick out of the University of Michigan, and I think he can be a good center in this league. Maybe not a top 6 forward, but I think he can be a quality center in this league. The Brady Tkachuk, Chris Tierney, Connor Brown line is who you want out against McDavid. But Tierney's bad in the faceoff circle. So it's tricky. Going up against Connor McDavid is tricky. But I trust that DJ Smith will put together a clean and conservative game plan for when McDavid and Draisaitl are on the ice. Get it deep and cycle. Get it deep and cycle against McDavid and Draisaitl. And then when the other lines are on, attack, attack, attack. The Oilers average 3.19 goals a game, but they've scored just 7 over their last 5 games. Now, that stat is a little misleading because they've scored 6 goals over their last 2 games. And McDavid and Draisaitl were in sort of surprising streaks here. McDavid went a shocking 3 straight games without a point, but has bounced back with 5 points in his last 2 games. And Leon Draisaitl snapped an 8-game goal drought when he scored against Ottawa on Monday. So 2 things are going on here. One, I believe that they've snapped out of it. But I also think that there is a problem with this hockey team. And that is that they are simple to defend, not easy to defend. But you can put together a simple game plan when there's only 2 players that you need to worry about. And who do I blame for that? Chiarelli and Holland, mainly Chiarelli. What terrible decisions he's made, and Holland's had to clean up his mess, and he's done a poor job of it. I think Darnell Nurse is a quality defender, but I think Tyson Barrie is extremely overrated. He's not good enough to log the ice time he's getting. Joe Sakic had the best young defensive core in the National Hockey League, and he did whatever he could to make sure that Tyson Barrie got out of that dressing room. Very, very noticeable. And then, look, he last 1 year in Toronto. They don't want him either. Then you have Chris Russell and Adam Larson on the second unit. They're rated as the second worst second unit in the entire NHL. There's a reason why a weak Chicago Blackhawks squad knocked the Oilers out of the playoffs last year. So I've said some negative things about this Oil squad, but this is my favorite time to back a team. It's their second last game of a homestand. I love it. I love it in NBA. I love it in NHL. Now, it has to be an extended homestand. It has to be 5 games at a minimum for this to work for me. And the Senators are playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. So I will begrudgingly take the Edmonton Oilers -1.5 at +110, as well as the under 6.5 at -110. That gets my card started.